welcome on today's program on Parenting Today. My name is Dibal Ainer and my co-host is Lynette Machuka. Today we're going to be discussing building commitment, and all this is branched from that overarching theme that we've been covering for you, capacity building for highly effective parenting. And I have none other in studio with me today. This is Betty Ochieng, a behavioral scientist, and of course we've read her resume most times, which is quite a long resume. Maureen, but good to see you though.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very
You
well,
had a lovely
Dibal.
day today.
Had a lovely day. It's a lot shinier than it's been on the last 2 weeks. So it's a great day.
It's a great day.
Glad to be here.
Fantastic,
to
fantastic.
share with our parents.
Okay.
Yes.
So I really appreciate, of course, how progressively we've been discussing capacity building for highly effective parenting and looking at different nuances. And today we want to train our focus, as I've mentioned, on building commitment. Maybe a better place to start will be, building commitment. What is commitment? Because many people also may have that frame of mind of the organizational commitment. But now we are looking at a different angle. We're in the homestead, and this is all about parenting. So what sort of commitment are we talking about?
Exactly. Thanks, Dibal. If you remember the last lessons, we talked about building trust vulnerability. And we said where there's trust vulnerability, people are real, people are genuine, people are honest. And so people deal with real issues, not a spoon for a big spoon, but it's a spoon for a spade for a spade. So the thing here is, once you've been able to build trust vulnerability, because you're able to, everybody's able to bring their 1 cent's worth, the child is able to bring their voice, they're able to feel heard, to be recognized for who they are. We've done the psychometric test. We're able to see our differing personality traits and tendencies and inclinations. We're able to embrace those and bring those in richly to influence how we engage. Then the next thing is, because the person has been heard, the next level of behaviorally is for them to embrace the outcome of that conversation. And when they do that, we are able to then move to the place where they commit to the outcomes of whatever conversation there is. So for example, maybe the parent and child were talking about their grades that are not so they're not so great or so rosy, because the child was able to say, because you dropped me to school late, it affects me in terms of I'm not a person who loves getting to school late, and I'm unable to connect with the work after that, and I actually feel like the bad person because the teacher is not friendly to me because I've come late to their class. Now that the parent hearing that, getting their aha moment and adjusting their time on how they drop the child to school, this child begins to feel like they are valued. Their opinion, their 1 cent opinion that was conflicting to the parents, has been heard. They are able then to move to the place of committing to do something differently. So the commitment piece, if the trust vulnerability is not anchored correctly, and if the child do not bring their 1 cent conflicting opinion into the scenario, they will lack commitment. So it is almost a byproduct of the lack of the lack of commitment is a byproduct of the lack of bringing in conflicting opinion because of the lack of trust vulnerability. Now, but if the two has happened correctly, now that brings us to the place of commitment.
So we have succeeding efforts that is leading up to building commitment at the end of the day. So if you miss one component, there's no way you can have a strong commitment and build commitment from a child as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like truly an Herculean task to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I miss these steps and I want to build now, where do I begin?
Then that's the place now that you have to course correct. And when you're course correcting, is then from a place of awareness of self, of the things that you have done that maybe are causing this lack of commitment, then you'll be able to do certain things. So that's where we're heading. So when you look at how do I know there's lack of commitment, we spoke about there's a bit of ambiguity in terms of direction. There may be windows where people want to close the things they didn't say, the excessive insight. You find children going into their rooms and discussing. You may find they're even discussing with aunties and not you. So you're almost being quarantined, if you like, in this conversation. Or there's people second guessing. What do you think mom wants? What do you think dad wants? People are trying to read in to your motives, to your engagements. And so what they do is they put up a face, or they breed it breeds lack of confidence and fear of failure. So what you need to do is move to where you're creating this. And as a parent, what you need to do is first be clear on what you need to push for.
Okay.